Hey, what's up, DanceFam? Welcome to another episode of The Session. Today we got a good show. We're going to talk about Les Twins at World of Dance 2016 LA. And then we got two other topics that I think kind of, work with it. First one is musicality misunderstood, or what is musicality? Second one is, what is hip hop dance? And that one's a bit more controversial, so you want to stick around for that. If you want to go straight to it, there'll be times in the description where you can skip ahead. If you're on podcast, then you're kind of SOL. Just kind of skip ahead. All right, today let's introduce our panel. First up to my left, we got Jared Porter. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up?
You all right there, bro? You good? You ready for this?
It was that brisk run from the bathroom.
What are you up to right now? You're Culture Shock DC Freestyle?
Yeah, Culture Shock DC Freestyle, Captain, Second in Command. Not important enough to be the guy in charge.
Also part of HeavenZ crew.
Yeah, HeavenZ crew. We're dead now. we don't really battle. But yeah, HeavenZ crew. Yep.
Cool. To his left, we got David Castro, otherwise known as Castro. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Just here with you guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Repping Regulators Baltimore, Alpha's DMV.
Yep.
And on the web, My Dance Live TV.
Yes, My Dance Live TV.
You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, it's pretty much a MTV Cribs dance documentary style web series type thing where we get all up in your personal, a lot of interviews with dancers, just like, you're a famous dancer, let's talk to you about famous dancing and what you think about dancing, but like, what about you as a person?
Mm-hmm.
Like, personally, I'm around these people consistently when I travel, but I don't know anything about the people I'm around.
Yeah.
Like, who they are. So,
that's a good point.
This is like a way for people to figure out the person behind the dancer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And to his left, we got Kyle Park. What's going on, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. You're also behind the scenes on My Dance Live TV. You are the hidden one.
Yes, the executive producer. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And also, like, director.
Director, yes, cameraman. Everything that you can.
So,
yes.
But in the dance scene, you're also shooting other things, too, like other events, like jams, not even, even out of state, out of the area.
Battles, yes. Events, anniversary events, anything, just.
And you get down too, right?
Yes, popping for about 6 years now.
Dang.
I like Kyle because whenever I go to a jam, I know the footage is coming up soon.
That's true.
It's not Masako fast, but it's fast.
Shout out to Masako up in Japan. All right, man. And as always, I'm your host, Russ, a.k.a. Lock and Robin. Let's just get to it. So, we're reviewing today Les Twins at World of Dance 2016 in LA. What did you guys think? Who wants to start with this one?
I'll start.
Cool.
For me, as a street dancer, somebody who's starting to actively take hip hop seriously, like street style hip hop, not choreography, but the actual style of hip hop, I realized that hip hop in Europe, where they're from, has evolved in a different way than here. It's still very 90s based off party dances here in America, and black culture. Over there, it's like they have a little bit of that black seasoning, and then they just do whatever they want. So they call it new style. Yeah. So, I mean, it's their evolution of hip hop. It's not technically not hip hop, but it's not the basic foundation of hip hop that we have here. That being said, they're tight.
Yeah.
They're very good at what they do.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Like, they're amazing dancers. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they're definitely good at what they do. This performance was a lot more different than what they normally do. They do a lot more comedic and, I guess, more hype stuff. This one was more chill, I thought.
I feel like that's because recently there's a whole bunch of things that they've been doing. And they've been battling a whole lot more than they have been in the past few years, like working for Cirque du Soleil and doing shows and commercials. They were very commercial for a while, so they didn't get to express themselves fully.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at this performance compared to one of their battles, if you've seen them in person or not, you can tell that when they perform, they're not even giving half the energy or conviction in their movement that they normally give when they're actually doing what they want to do. Like, it's freestyle and they had a freestyle portion, but even in their freestyle portion of the video, for me personally, knowing what they're capable of, I can see that they're holding back. So it's like they give just enough. Mm-hmm. And of course they have the name, so now they don't have to do as much as they used to do before. So it's not so extra. So it's a whole lot more, it's a whole lot closer to what they actually do as dancers, but still in the realm of what World of Dance is about.
Yeah, sure. I think also, like, at the same time, they were also getting ready for KOD.
Yes.
So that could have been like,
they weren't going to go off and hurt themselves representing their country and all that.
Pretty much. And they did well. I mean, they won that round or that final.
Yeah.
By
the France just shout out to the France team for absolutely destroying Korea in the finals. It was bad.
I still have yet to watch that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You should watch it. What'd you think, Jay?
I thought they're tight, yo. They're tight. You said they don't really have, like, I guess what you said, like, American flavor and stuff like that. But it's cool because especially with, like, the way YouTube is going and the way that, like, everything's getting really, like, centralized and you see all these different styles, like, all the time. People don't have really, like regional, like, specific movement anymore. Right. You can't tell where somebody's from by the way they dance anymore. So it's really tight to see people that when you're watching them dance, you're like, yo, dang, they ain't even from here. I don't know where they from, but they dance like they're not from here. And like when you see them, you're like, dang, they kind of got that France movement. And like, I don't really know what that is because I don't watch a whole bunch of like French, like freestyle, like freeform. Yeah. But like when I see like Les Twins, like they're mad ill. And actually like,
they got that twin thing.
Yeah, I was
gonna say.
I was about to say, as being a twin. So, actually, back in 2010, I met them, and not only that, but Ryan and I hosted them when they were here in Maryland. That's right. Yeah, so we hosted them for like a couple of days, like for a day, and we actually battled them as well, like at UMBC. We were just like. And these dudes literally, you know when people say, oh, I just eat, sleep, and like drink and dance and stuff like that? That's literally what they did the entire day. We like drove them around. Like we went to the mall. Like these dudes were like, oh, Larry, hold on. And then they were like, no, like for real. They were like, we were at the mall and they were eating. And then they just pulled out like, they had like a pocket, like speaker. And then they just hooked it up to their phone. It was Bluetooth. And they were like, okay. And they just played the music. And literally in the middle of Wheaton Mall, just started dancing in the food court. And I was like,
not Wheaton Mall,
I'm like, yo, y'all are two of the tallest black people I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're
you are huge. You are black. You are twins. And you have big afros. And we are in Wheaton Mall, which is like filled with Asians and like Hispanics. I was like, we are standing out like a sore thumb. Thank God you guys are actually really good. And that was before everybody knew who they were. So people were just like, yo, what's going on?
And these black guys.
And then like when they were done, they were like, okay. And then they fall asleep on each other like this. I was just like, all right, literally the whole entire day. And yeah,
they're of one mind.
Yeah. So no, they're like mad dope, and they're like their approach to freestyle is good. So like when I was watching, I was like, psh, still, and it was also really tight to see them do new stuff because they've been like booking so many gigs and like, you know,
just repeating everything.
There was like, there's been like 2010 to like 2011, 2012-ish. They repeated like a lot of the same
show,
like same like movement routines and stuff like that. So to see them do really different stuff, I was like, this is tight. Okay,
they've been training.
Cool, yeah.
Kyle, get in this. What did you like about this performance or dislike?
This actual performance that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay. So growing up, I watched a lot of Les Twins. You know, one of the most memorable video clip that I watched was their Yak film, their carpet one. I don't know if you guys
No, I know talking about. Yeah. Saw that.
So like, I mean, I really like that. You know, as David actually mentioned, you know, it's not like American hip hop, but like new school hip hop. What they found. So I mean, the performance I see in the World Dance the clip we're talking about is not as compact as what I have seen so far. Mm-hmm. It's not as
from them.
Yeah, from them. It's like it's not that much of a attention grabber as much as they did, but still, I like the performance. You know, still alive, a lot of controls.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
let me touch on that. So like reading the comments, there a lot of their fans were like, "Man, I don't know what they're doing. This isn't even like what they're normally doing. This isn't fun." And like, I'm like, all right, if you guys are true fans. You would know like what they're trying to do and what they are showcasing, and it's art, like at its core.
It's because those fans on YouTube aren't actual dancers. That is exactly why.
And that could be it. Like,
not to like, you know, rain on anybody's parade, but
Sure.
if you were a dancer and you understood the style they were doing and you weren't just a fan, because if you look on YouTube, they have Laurent fan pages and Larry fan pages and just compilations of them doing solos at different places. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, go practice if you like dance this much. But then there are those dancers who end up looking exactly like them. And it's like, bro, you can't bite. Like,
I was going to say, like,
their style is very specific to them. They do new style hip hop, but nobody moves exactly like them.
No.
Except them.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that is the funniest thing to see when you see like a twins fighter and then like, what was it? I see this one dude, it was like a popping battle and somebody did that little leg drop where he's like,
Yeah.
and the foot came up and I was like,
stop.
Yo. Like,
is that
He stretched.
I'm a B-boy, dog.
You do upside down pretzel splits, whatever.
All right, well, but I'm majestic though. No, but it's just really funny because they have a really specific style. So when you see someone bite that, it's like, it's not even like you could fake it. It's like you really went home and you practiced what this guy was doing.
But here's the thing to that. You have the talent and the skill to look like somebody almost exactly at that high skill level. Why are you wasting your time doing that when you can look like yourself?
Yeah. I mean,
you could be something else.
That's a whole different like conversation that we could have if we wanted to.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Okay. Yeah.
Originality and being yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
They are very original. They're so original that everybody wants to be them. Want to be like Michael Jordan was a dude. Everybody wants to stick their tongue out.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to be the Porter twins?
Why did I invite you on this train?
I asked myself when you said that.
Oh my goodness.
Back to the performance though. So it's like
Greatest episode ever.
So like these fans, they're not. I mean, yeah, they could be not dancers, but they could also be new dancers who just don't understand.
Yeah, they're just ignorant to what is actually taking place. They don't understand the why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a why things happen. There's a reason certain techniques are used when people are dancing. If you don't completely grasp that, you're just not going to like it. But then that's acting without understanding. So they just don't understand what they're looking at.
Yeah. And personally, like I've been saying this, like, I think this is one of their more musical performances. Like, there was barely any lyrics to actually go off of. It was just straight to the music, except for like the end where they're like pointing at people and like speaking French or whatever.
Yeah, they had to put their little routine, their little, Three Stooges thing in there without the third person.
Yeah, pretty much.
They do that,
right?
Pretty much. And there was a lot less of that too. So I thought they were more serious. I felt like this one kind of had a story. Like, I don't know. You could put a story to it. It could be their story if they wanted to.
That's why I liked it personally, because it was more of them actually being the dancers they are instead of just putting on a show.
Yeah.
But I think that's why
it's more personal.
The mass media dance culture didn't like it, because they don't understand. One, they are black people. Two, okay. This came from black culture. Hip hop did. So they're going to have a rawness to them that you don't completely understand unless you grew up in that environment. Not to say that people can't get it, but.
Yeah, and I don't speak French. So.
Right. So I don't speak French either, but I get what's going on.
You get what they're doing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just as a dancer, even when they're talking to each other in French, I can kind of understand where the conversation is going based on what they're actually talking about in a group of people. Because I've been around them and I've heard them speak, and I'm just like, oh yeah, he's talking about that dancer. He's talking about this. He's talking about this kind of move. Like, body language is everything. And so like,
their body language is crazy.
It's crazy. But the reason I feel like people like them so much, for those who are not dancers and those who are like, I don't want to say terrible dancers, but like those who don't, like, there's people who have super, like, you're just talented. And there's people who have to work extra hard to get good. The people who are talented have this thing that a lot of dancers like to call soul. And that's something you really can't teach. Now, everybody can get it, but some people have it right away. You know, it's like a special skill, you know? So when they're dancing, it hasn't been often for me, but people be like, oh, they're feeling it. But I think the real thing is they're not feeling it. They're just doing whatever they're doing. You're feeling it.
Yeah,
so
and that's a bigger thing.
Their soul that they're projecting is making you feel, giving you an emotional response based on what they're doing. So you're actually feeling it. They're not feeling anything. You know what I'm saying? And they do that often.
There's not a lot of that.
They do that often. So that's why the crowd is wild. And it's not even like it's their moves. It's the way, the architecture of their dance. Like, where everything is placed is perfect. You know what I'm saying? There's no getting around it.
I just really dig their chemistry. Like the way they like vibe off one another. Like they can really catch a move out of nowhere. And
it's like they can foresee
what
the next one's going to do.
Telepathy.
And I asked them, I'm like, yo, do you guys know what you're going to do? They're like, sometimes we do, but most of the time it's just like, we just kind of guess. And then like every once in a while, like most of the time we'll hit it and then sometimes we don't, but usually we can like kind of feel it out. And I was just like, yeah, I can't even high five Ryan.
I was gonna ask. I was like, "Can you guys do that?
No,
can you and Ryan do it?"
We don't even like. I think I've dapped up Ryan like twice. It feels weird to shake your own hand, man. Like, trust me. like, so I like. It was funny because the time they battled us and they like literally smoked the mess out of us. That was 6 years ago. But
was it that long?
Now, well, I was like, but now
it was 6 years ago.
Come find me,
yeah,
Baltimore. Yeah, it was 6 years ago though.
Damn, so I was wrong. It wasn't 4 years because we were talking about this before you came. I battled them at 4 hours, and then Mike came in and battled them.
Yeah, that was like that was over the summer.
Yeah, and we beat them individually. We battled both of them individually and beat them individually. And then after that, everything it's all good. But it's in a club environment, so it can get a little a little hostile. But it was cool.
Nah, they like
they're. I would like to battle them again though. That would be interesting.
Nah, they roasted us, and they roasted us in Top Rock too, which was like kind of sad because I was like, yo, like they were just. I mean, they were playing their music. I was like, all right, they made like this Street Fighter break that was like it was tight. I was like, yo, who is this? And then they were like, oh, we made this. I was like, yo, what the? This joint is that joint was fire.
Dancers,
yeah, that's why
models.
I make my own music now. I'm like. I mean, I don't make it, but I just cut it on SoundCloud.
You want to shout out?
It's like, follow me on SoundCloud. Fire mixtapes. Like,
more fire.
No, nah, but they told us afterwards. They're like, yeah, like you guys are pretty good, but you guys don't use what you have special to you. And I was like, what's that? They're like, you guys are twins. Barely anybody has a twin brother. Y'all should use that. And Ryan and I were like, yeah, we will. 6 years later, here we are.
I think I've only seen you guys do that one time.
I know. Like,
and it almost ended up in a fight.
But it's fire. But when it happens, it's fire. Like flame emojis times 100.
Flame emojis.
Yeah.
Kyle, coming from like a visual kind of standpoint, or like you were recording this, or like a production kind of thing. What did you think about their performance in terms of that?
So
like,
first
aspect?
30 seconds, you can see that the angles are actually like cameras zooming in and out. I think it's a little bit unnecessary. I know that World of Dance actually uses a slider. There's this camera going left and right. But it's just that they're, I think, doing manually. So it's just that this kind of unnatural and rigid movement, it just gets me like away from the tension a little bit. I think they should change the angle from the going up to, from down to up to just a straight angle. I think it will be a little bit like better standard, like visual angles. It's just a few things that you can improve. It's just that, I don't know. For now, I think they should hire a new videographer.
Oh, boom! Shots fired.
Put up somebody put up like his Instagram or something like that for call him out and get him like a gig.
But do you think Late Twins put on something like noteworthy of a production? Like
their dance? Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, every time I actually met them in person last year around like October. They actually came. Came around the event that I was actually filming as an official videographer. They just stopped by, and I got a chance to film them ciphering and battling a little bit.
And it got heated.
It was an interesting experience. But it's just that
they always put on a show pretty much.
Every time they're in front of the camera, they definitely get down and they definitely make it worth videographer's time, like worth it. So I can guarantee that. Yeah.
Were there any dislikes that you guys had about this specifically? I guess.
Not necessarily. For me, like, outside of the fact that I know that they didn't try hard enough, for me personally, just because I know
what they're capable
of.
Find Castro. He's in Baltimore. Y'all can find him.
You can. And I will always be honest with you. I'm not a yes man, so you will get better if you talk to me.
For all you yes men out there.
Right. I'm not a yes man.
We know about you.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't do half of what they're actually capable of. They didn't put forth the energy that could have brought a real street dance feel to it. But again, this wasn't a street dance performance. It was World of Dance, which is mostly just like fame and names. Like World of Dance to me is more about what's popular and not who's actually noteworthy with skill. You know,
we could say that about a lot of things.
Actually. Yeah, a lot of things. But that seems to be the dance trend. They are one of the few dancers that they bring on there. There's been people on like Soul, like Jojo Diggs, like Frantic, like Mad Chad. Those are like specific names, you know, Les Twins is also a specific name. You look at them, you cannot deny their skill level. They didn't win a dance contest. They didn't go on Ellen. They didn't win an Instagram thing. They are actual dancers who train and put in years of work. Their look is just a bonus. You really don't care what they look like. There's ugly people who dance.
Sure.
But
I don't watch them though.
but they're good.
I watch you. Just
but damn.
I'm beautiful. At least somebody watching.
Somebody's watching me.
Love that song.
Shout out 2012. Stalking Medley.
Ooh.
Oh, true.
Plug.
Going off of what Kyle said earlier.
Wait, dang, I had something to say shit.
Well, you should have been faster, man.
Yeah, you're right. No, no, really though, I think what Castro was saying about people like hating on the performance is one thing was like instead of being like really theatrical this time, they were more so like they focus on an entirely different aspect. Like they were really about control. And like if you just saw their control, it was crazy. The amount of control and the amount like the musicality that they were doing was so good. And like if I had any dislike, it's not really so much for like the specific video, but it's this kind of trend that's going on right now with like really small, intricate movement, which is dope. But people get stuck in this really small, intricate movement and there's no big movement to break it up. So I'm like looking at all these like really tiny moves and I'm like, oh yeah, you hit that beat, you hit that beat. Okay. So
I think
Laurent
during his solo, the second solo, he tried like getting out there.
Yeah.
But it felt a little sloppy.
Yeah.
Like I think he
pushed the envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
He was just like, okay, I'm not going to do exactly what my brother did.
Right.
Even though I am my brother.
Yeah. but that's kind of tight though, because like you gotta. I feel like especially if you're pushing the envelope and you're trying something new, you're gonna get a little sloppy. And I rather see somebody do something new and like try something outside the box. And there's people that like I used to think when I was younger, like, oh, after you get a certain like after you've done dancing for enough time, like you just can't make anything new because you've run out of creativity. And like I found out that's totally wrong. It's just that you're like, oh, I've gotten famous for doing this and I can just do this and then I don't have to do anything else because I know that people will like this. And like, as opposed to someone going, dang, okay, well, I'm gonna just try this crazy move. And if I fall on my face, like it might happen, but if I save myself and I'm like, I'd rather see that. I mean, it sucks to happen on stage and like mess up. But I mean, if you really pushing yourself and you being in the moment, it's like, it's freestyling, you know?
That's one of the things I like about them because like what you said, like I'm famous and I can just do this and get away with this. Like
people do
I'm
it all
happy,
the time.
like Salah is one of those dancers who for years was just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But at that point, you're not freestyling anymore. You're like doing sets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it worked. I don't know why the community allowed it, but they let it happen.
Allowed it.
And then so you look at,
stop
I mean,
this.
he was still winning stuff, you know, over and over.
Be mad at the dancer, be mad at the judges.
Right, exactly. So the Les Twins, like they had that run, like you were saying from like 2010 to like 2012, it was like the same stuff. And they kind of just like disappeared. Yeah. And they were working.
Yeah.
And now they come back. They don't look exactly like they did before. And that's kind of cool to me. That doesn't happen very often with a dancer. Like, for an extreme example, Stilo, who had a brain aneurysm. He was one B-boy, lost everything, learned how to walk, speak, everything all over again. And now he's a completely different B-boy than he was originally. That doesn't happen with anybody.
It's like a rebirth.
Exactly. So, like, to see the Les Twins, like, not look exactly like there's obvious growth. Outside of their fame, they didn't stop training. There's constant elevation, which means their fans might be yes men, but to each other, they don't yes man each other. They literally push, and because they're constantly pushing,
I love this yes man.
their level goes up, and like what you were talking about with like the little nuances, European style hip hop is almost like it has that dance flavor, and then it has a little bit of popping, and dime stops is a technique that's in every style of dance. Every style of dance on this planet has dime stops in it. And you'll see it more in that new style European hip hop than you will see it in popping because a lot of people don't robot. So like you'll see them doing all that stuff, and it's just like, oh, but like he said, it can get a little extra after a while. So I was happy that in the second solo he really just was like, I'm gonna just throw my hair in circles,
pretty much
do whatever. And I was like, yeah, keep going.
I like that they wore separate outfits.
Yes.
Like they were individuals.
They have different hair.
They have different
Their personalities have shown.
You know what I'm really happy about that they don't do anymore? wearing their pants backwards.
Oh, right.
That used to trip me out.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have to wear it, so it's okay.
Yeah, like
you can do what you want.
Nowadays, like if you see something on stage, everyone's wearing the same thing. I really appreciated how they stuck to like their individuality, and it just looked really good.
I feel like they have always kind of tended to do that, though, like stick to their own personality.
But in this one, they look completely different.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
They usually kind of have the same style, but now, like I don't know, they just seem like two different guys that are twins.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's always cool to know, like that you're an actual person,
and not a robot.
Yeah, I like to know that you're two people.
You're not a brown skin robot.
We have names. We're Larry and Laurent.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like seeing how they dance compared to like if you ever see them like do choreo or teach choreo. Like I know a lot of choreo dancers, they will do hip hop, but they really don't know hip hop. And so you have actual hip hop teachers like them teaching choreography. I'm not getting on anybody.
That's just topic 2, man. Wait for it.
You know, so it's just like, okay, we'll wait.
We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll let you do that.
Let's wrap up this review though. Let's just go down the line and see if anyone has like any last thoughts, like overall thoughts about it. We'll start with Kyle since he needs to recover. Last thoughts about this review of this performance?
The performance itself was really good. It's just I think the camera working maybe a little bit improved.
So watching it on YouTube, it kind of took away from it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. This is stand-up comedy?
Yeah, right.
Sit-down comedy?
Sit-down comedy. So watching on YouTube, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, as a professional videographer, I can see that a little bit of like mistakes they're making. It's just that, like, that's watching it, like, I can improve that a little bit. I can fix that in that way. I'm just constantly critiquing. But, like, coming from a person that actually doesn't do camera work, probably doesn't bother you as much.
Well, there was just one point where they move over to one side and then the camera's like a little delayed to actually trying to go follow them.
The ratio is a little bit out from time to time. Yeah.
It's like, I just want to like chase after them, but I can't because I'm sitting in front of the computer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This guy, the videographer was probably sitting there or standing there for like 20 performances. Like, I mean,
after you...
He was in that sliding office chair with a rail. He just like pushes to one side and just slides back and forth.
That was a pretty good
like
movie.
a kid in computer class.
I mean, I kind of understand because after like hours and hours of recording video, you kind of focus out. So you can't like, follow the dancer.
Yeah.
You get a little bit delayed. So I understand. It's just that less twins is kind of a big deal. It's like I would actually like pay a little more extra attention.
Cool. Yes. Yeah, it would probably be different if we were there.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like my only gripe really was that they didn't try. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, think about that. If I'm saying they didn't try and they still look like that, think about where they're at as a dancer compared to you then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means that they're bare bottom their bare bottom BS is better than your good stuff.
Better than your stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Might be true. Might be real. Probably real. I kind of have to disagree on that. Not on the fact that their bare bottom stuff is better. I don't want to think about their bare bottoms, but
Lord have mercy.
Hey, speak for yourself, man. Speak for yourself.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you think about it, that video was like 7 minutes long. So it's like, I don't know if they've been doing like endurance training, but like, I was about to say, get me to B-boy for about a minute straight. I'm like huffing and puffing. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. And they dance for like, so the fact that, I mean, do I feel like B-boying is a little bit more strenuous?
It's more physical.
Yeah, way more physical. I mean, I'm going to be real nice about it, but do I feel like B-boying is like a lot more physical and stuff like that? Our sets are usually like 30 seconds long.
And y'all are defying gravity.
Unless you're like Dom and you're like Dom Key, then he can go for like a minute.
Yeah, you're Astro Boy.
It's because he weighs like 10 pounds.
He was made in Japan.
Right. I was about to say, he'd be just like tossing
the most efficient human being.
He's Astro Boy. Like, he got guns in his butt that keep him off the ground and spinning.
I was about to say something messed up, but I'm like,
we love you, Dom.
I'm on TV right now. Mom, I made it.
We only got less than 500 views for the last episode, so don't.
No,
we're not there yet. We're not there.
Title of that episode: We talk mess about Dom Key.
No,
that'll get hits.
That'll get views right there.
But yeah, like the fact that they can dance for like 7 minutes straight, even if like, I mean, I would have to definitely like breathe it out and make sure I'm distributing all my energy efficiently. So even with the breaks, like what they had like 30-second breaks for those solos, or maybe 1 minute breaks for the solos, that's still 7 minutes of dancing. So
yeah, it sucks.
The fact that you could make it through 7 minutes of dancing and you didn't die at the end.
And they didn't look tired at all.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't look tired, which actually might go to prove Castro's point that they didn't try as hard. But like the fact that you can dance that long and that well, without even boring yourself.
I mean, but look how long they've been doing that specific type of thing. Those performances are like their life for the past 6-7 years.
Right.
And then Cirque du Soleil, God knows what they had to go through on that show.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm pretty sure like it's muscle memory, the pace that they choose at this point. They don't have to really think.
Man, they're real good pace setters.
Yeah.
Shout out to TJ.
And his pace setters.
Yeah. TJ Jacobs. Yeah, so that was good. I thought they did like really good levels. Like their dynamics were good. Like Musicality was good. I thought it was good. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, Musicality was great in this one for me. I have to agree with Kyle. Like the first 30 seconds, I would say like a minute, 2 minutes maybe. I really liked and enjoyed. After that, I just kind of got a little antsy or anxious, I guess, because I wanted to see more.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. And then the ending, it wasn't as hype. It was just really chilled, which is why I felt like they were telling a story, because it wasn't just about dance. It was about the art of, whatever they were feeling at the time or whatever story they were trying to tell.
Little French singing in the rain.
If it is, I didn't get it, but I was just like, this is nice to watch. This is not, I guess.
It was green eggs and ham. That's what it was.
They were telling Civil War ahead of time.
Okay, got it.
And the music. Like, no one knows the music that they use.
I didn't know either of those songs, but they were tight.
Yeah, which is what I appreciate, because nowadays everyone's using the same music, even though they've heard it just before by a different performance. They still want to use it again, which is tough because we're only
panda.
I wouldn't say it's tough. People just don't want to like reach out for new music. Yeah. Like, it's good for Les Twins because they have French music that they can bring over here and use, and no one else will know. But why can't we like reach out and use other people's music too, and just try doing new things?
I like the fact that they use music that you could actually battle to, which shows that they were like, their solo songs were not really performance songs unless you were doing choreography. Songs hype like that is something you usually battle to in a hip hop setting. So it's just like, that to me shows who they are more like personal in their what they like to dance to as hip hop dancers. It wasn't like, this is a showcase. It's just like, I'm doing me. This is what I like. Deal with it because I'm a late twin.
Yeah, need more Kanye West.
I'm gonna let you finish.
All right. Let's finish that. Let's move on to the next topic before we start talking more. Topic 1. What is musicality, or is musicality misunderstood? The reason why I wanted to bring this up was because, well, first of all, I thought Les Twins' performance was really musical. Their musicality was on point for that. But also, nowadays, I feel like people are throwing out the term musicality and not understanding what it really is. So before I say what I want to say, I'll open it up to you guys. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Kyle, what do you think musicality is?
In my opinion, musicality is how you understand the music inside of you first, then how you project it outside. So, it can be a bit killing, it's like the boom, boom, pop, but like how the texture of the sound is, how the instrument goes and everything. So you actually understand it inside your head and build a map out of it and actually project it as a dance, as a move. I think that's what the musicality is.
That was some National Geographic. Like, I saw a whole 3D like thing in my head.
There was like elephants stampeding and stuff.
Right.
It was beautiful.
But what he said about texture to me is 100% correct. But when I teach people, I'm like, especially when I'm teaching popping, which is really the only thing I ever teach. When you are hitting or doing anything in popping, you literally want to physically project the sound people are hearing
exactly
with your body. So if it doesn't look like that, it's just going to be like, oh, he's popping. But if you're hitting and it's like boom, boom, pop, boom, 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 pop, if you can make your body physically show boom, boom, pop, then it will look better than if you just listen to it. So like, musicality to me is like that thing I was going to earlier about like the soul of the dancer. There's so many different parts of your body you can use. It's really, like he said, all about the map that you lay out, the structure of how you put things together, going in and out. If you're going fast, you're going slow. If, you're being big, you're being small. Like,
I'm a big fan of elbows.
I love elbows.
Like elbows. Hit the dab.
I knew he was going to say that. But seriously, like, as far as musicality goes, a lot of people throw it around like, oh, I'm beat catching. Yeah, but
beat catching is not.
It's not musicality. No. You're like lucky, or you just know the song.
You know the song,
but like, to the music, yeah. And people like to complain like, oh, you memorize the song, you're beat catching. Well, all we do is memorize music as dancers. Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. That's what we're supposed to do. Yeah. Like, if you're battling, you don't know the song. There's the musicality. Mm-hmm. When you can listen to the music for the first time and adapt and physically display the sounds people are hearing with your body in a way that makes them feel your soul, that's the musicality.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like,
yeah. Musicality is really, really interesting because people will consider a bunch of things like musicality, like in b-boying, it's like, you can like do a beat kill, which is like you usually just like destroy like one big like cat at the end or something like that, and they'll be like, "Oh, that was a beat kill." Like you hit like a famous always air chair drops and like it rolled into air chairs like
it's a freeze.
Yeah. Like it's like always, and they'll be like, "Oh, musicality was tight." And I'm like, "Yo, you hit one air chair on one beat." And it's like people. This is like my most hated like thing is like people wait around and they wait for that one big beat and they go one move and you're like, oh, I killed that. Everybody starts screaming and I'm just like, you hit one beat. Like everybody knows how to count to 8. Like,
Jesus,
it's a freaking 8 count.
Did you hit any of those other beats before you hit that beat?
Right.
Usually
and so,
they didn't.
So musicality is like, cause there's like beat riding and then there's like beat killing, and like beat riding is like you're like on top of the beat the whole time. And I feel like it's really interesting now just because music is changing. So like I think you guys touched on this last time, like groove. Yeah. I don't think like groove is gone. I think like groove is different. Like there's like there's a different flow of music. Like just like every time like a new genre of music happens, like there's a new kind of dance style that adapts to that music. So like now we have like before it was like, 808s, and now we have all these like faster RPMs and stuff like that. So there's less of a riding type of like groove on it, and everything's kind of faster paced. So it's harder to catch, but there is a musicality to it, but you just have to be really, there's some people that have like gotten really adapted, that have really adapted to it well. And like they can just stay on beat and like, it's really good. But there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm just wait for this one. And so I don't think it's bad to know a song beforehand. I don't think like it's like studying for an exam. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you don't know for a fact that you're going to get that song, but if you do, and at least if you practice the songs similar to it, you can like kind of catch, like,
anticipate.
Oh, okay, like it's going to be like this.
Advantage,
yeah, it works to your advantage, and like just knowing like, okay, this is going to be the kind of like rhythm that I'm going for. Boom, boom, cat to dum dum, cat to dum dum, cat to dum dum, boom, 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 cat to dum, and then you can be like, all right. And then, some people, they're still not going to be able to dance on beat, and somebody's going to clap for them anyway because it's their favorite dancer.
That's because they can't dance.
And you're a stan.
And they don't know musicality.
And they don't know musicality.
I think that gripe comes from people, like, I don't even think the gripe is actually, people just like blame it on the music because they want to be like passive aggressive. But the real issue is, you don't like the fact that these people that are beat catching actually can't dance, but are getting woos and getting popular and getting wins off the fact that they are just like dancers who are more movers than dancers. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you look at some poppers, they'll just like do this and then they'll wait for like, and then they'll go back to like doing this. They're not actually completely dancing the whole time.
Very mechanical, like beat killing routine.
Yeah, it's almost like we were like saying like Salah, like sets. Like it gets to a point where you're not dancing anymore. You have a structure to how you're going to do things. It's not freestyle. Yeah. And then it becomes, again, it's like the circle becomes about what's popular and what's not. So, who's actually skilled.
I don't know. You can like, I feel like you can still, like somebody told me this a while ago. It was like somebody, it was like an older dude talking about rapping. And I was talking to Gray Matter and somebody told him this and he was just like, I think it was Gray Matter. Don't quote me on this.
Shout out to Gray Matter.
But he was like, yo, like if you're doing a beat, like there's like, when you do like a written verse, like people like they say they freestyle all the time and they'll like rap over a song that's like a beat over that's like not theirs, or like someone will play like Pound Cake by Drake and then someone will like spit a verse, but it's not a verse to that song. It's just a verse that they wrote and they make it match to the song. And so in some instances, I guess they call that like freestyling, not because it's an actual freestyle off the top of your head, but because you're matching like the words to the music. And it's like kind of the same thing for like,
but if you wrote it,
somebody told me that before, and I was like, that's kind of a reach, but I can see what you're saying. So
it's a little trick under the sleeve, you know. You can just, like, take it out and you just like,
I mean, like, I feel like you can have like, I feel like you can have moves in the back pocket.
So they're lying.
No, I feel like you can have moves in the back pocket, like whole sets though, like. Fine, we're just gonna talk while I talk, then. No, but go. No. Yeah, go.
Okay,
I give up.
The way I describe musicality best is from one of my favorite quotes from Michael Jackson when he was interviewed by Oprah, and I want to read it for you guys. He said, "If you're a dancer, you know that you're just interpreting the sounds in the accompaniment of the music. If there's a driving bass, you become the bass. If there's a cello, if there's a string, you become that. You become the emotion of what that sound is."
Accurate.
So going off of what I guess we're all saying, it's about how the audience, how you get the music out in a visual way to the audience so that people can see the song that you're dancing to, pretty much. How you represent, you know, the sounds in the music, the music itself, the emotion. There's so many aspects to like music that people just don't touch on, like when they dance. Especially like all the different parts of the music, like all the different instruments. There's like different background music. There's that. There's, you know, the crescendos, the decrescendos, and how you want to like build upon it or like slow down with it, move with it. Like all the beats that aren't there and that are there. There's so many things that you just want to touch on. And I think that that's what musicality is, how you get all of those aspects out.
Yeah. My favorite example of this, and like that was like a great explanation. My favorite example of this is, if anybody actually cares enough to look it up, look up Mynd 187 Menage a Trois at GMU. That was like, it was a while back, but that man murdered that beat. It didn't matter what anybody else did after that. It was like a couple of hi-hats and stuff like that, and he was just on it. Menage a Trois, do it. Da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. He was like literally every single instrument that was in that song, and he murdered it. And he's one of my favorite people to watch because he just like embodies like the music.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. He's just like screw being a good b-boy. He's a good dancer. And that's why I think is like really dope is when you see somebody that like, you know, there's people that you're like, oh, they're a good popper, or they're like a good locker. And like, you know, they're a good dancer. And like, that's the dopest like compliment I ever hear is like being a good dancer. And like, it's like you make like, and even in choreography, like people that make you love a song because the movement that they've done to the song is so good. Like screw the moves, but the movement that they've done to the song is really well. Yeah. And just embodying that musicality, like embodying that song, like, and making you think, wow, instead of thinking when I think of this song, I think of this music video, I hear this song and I think of this person, like that's huge. Like that's killer right there. That's musicality.
Steal the show. Yeah.
I think one thing that really bothers me is when people dance so hard to a song that isn't hard, like at all.
That's so funny. That's hilarious.
But it bothers the hell out of me just because I'm like, what are you trying to say? Obviously, you're not listening to what the music is trying to say. So you're just, I don't know. I think it's lying too.
Yeah, no, it's we call it faking the funk all the time. Like, so it's like faking the funk is when you go out and like you feel like you like try and pretend like you have this groove that like doesn't really exist in the song. You go out and you're like,
oh my God.
You usually see it from people that tuck in their shirts right before they go out and dance, like that. And you're like, yo, this song doesn't sound like this.
Tuck in their shirts.
Yeah, yo, like anybody like
shirt tuckers.
There's two things that you'll ever see, especially at a b-boy jam. If you see someone tuck in their shirt, either they're about to throw down the dopest set you've ever seen, or they're about to do the wackest joint you've ever seen. And it's like your eyes just go like this when they come out. You're like, oh snap, like it's about to go down. Like Kevin Hart said, yo, it's like it's about to go down. And then like either it does go down or you're just like, boo.
Or you just look away like, I'll just come back later.
So I'm gonna look at my phone.
You can probably find me in the back of a couple of videos just walking away.
Jesus.
So I want to shout out to Prince really quick. Rest in peace. You know, one of the greatest musicians. The purple one. The reason why I bring him up, other than the fact that that he passed away, is when he performs, when he solos on the guitar, you can see like the music begging to come out, like out of him, right? As dancers, I feel like we should be able to do a better job of letting it come out of our bodies.
That's that soul projection.
Yeah.
That I was like, if you watch, like right now, he just passed away, yesterday, day before. So it's just like, okay, Prince is everywhere now.
Yeah.
But he was everywhere before.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's one of those things where you just don't know how good you have it until he's gone. And it's like, 2016 has been terrible for celebrities. They've just been dropping like flies. And then,
Fife Diggy.
like, yeah, rest in peace. And so, like, when I heard he passed, I was literally upset. Like, I was walking there like, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. Like, there's no way that he's gone. Somebody else at his house is dead.
Yeah.
Prince is dead. I'm just like,
Prince just got bodies at his house, though.
I mean, anything could have happened. Because, like, when they were reporting it, they were like, they don't know if it's him. Nobody said if it's him or if somebody at his estate passed away. Like, anybody could have any kind of health condition. You know what I'm saying?
You just got a light-skinned dude in your back pocket that you just throw out a body.
Right. So
you put out a Kagebushin, like,
right. But
upsetting.
If you watch him play guitar, just not any of the other instruments he could play, just guitar, just that one is more than enough. Bass guitar. He's not even trying. And you'll start to get goosebumps and you'll start doing this in front of your phone or your computer, whatever. You start making stank face. You start talking to him like, yeah, get that. He can't hear you. He can't hear you from whatever country he's in on the internet. But that's how it makes you feel. So from wherever he is in the world to your living room, wherever you're sitting, he's projecting his soul through the electronics to you.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get watered down. There's no like, I'm just doing this because I'm on stage. It's not like people who lip sync. It's like you cannot fake that.
Panda.
You can't fake the panda.
Yeah. No, that's real. Like Prince will make you get up out your seat. Like any good like performer will make you get up.
I mean, yeah. we said a lot. Like I could get deep, but it might go into another topic. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave it there.
How deep,
Kyle?
My whole life. No.
Yeah. All right. So to wrap up that topic, don't say musicality just because someone
is catching.
It's catching, exactly. There's a lot more to it. I just wish people just knew or like listened to music and just understood music in general before they started dancing.
I think people know.
I wish people actually danced.
That's fair. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think people know. Like people know what musicality is. I feel like
people are just saying, "Oh
easy,
man, his musicality's on point."
Yeah.
Just to sound cool,
right? Like, well, because it's like,
yeah, I'm in this conversation.
Well, it's kind of easier, like to say that. It's like an easy cop out because if you see somebody that's dancing on beat, you're like you don't go, "Oh, they're dancing on beat so well." It's just easier to say like, "Oh, their musicality is like good."
Well,
and,
I wouldn't say anything to begin with.
they're polyrhythmic.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. That's about it.
That's true. That's true as well. I mean, people.
At least that's just me.
Yeah, no, that's a whole nother. I was about to say that's gonna go into.
Just come back another day. We'll talk about
we can just ride on.
Don't have me back out here.
All right. moving on.
I'll crush you.
Be scared to have you and your brother on at the same time.
I was about to say y'all should have put me and Ryan on at the same time.
I'll just leave you two here and we'll walk out and just hit record. And just good luck.
So this is the topics he left us. Forget y'all. Forget this.
So today I'm
you about to like drop your mixtape.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Y'all ain't ready.
Dylan.
Topic 2.
Only on topic
what
2.
is hip hop dance? Now this, this is why he's here pretty much.
Only
this could be worded a different way, but I'll admit I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to like saying what is hip hop dance. I think I know a lot more than what most people or most dancers would say, but I'll leave that to you guys to kind of explain what is hip hop dance, what it's becoming, what does it entail, etc.
Well,
that's so hard.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
So
I'll just piggyback.
People are like, oh, hip hop dance is only stand up dance. One, you're wrong. Shut up. You can't have hip hop without breaking, period. Breaking is the foundation of hip hop. The breaks, the music, all that comes from breaking. You cannot have hip hop without breaking. So a lot of hip hop dancers will go, I'm not going to top rock. Well, then you're really not fully doing hip hop. You're just doing what you like in hip hop. Hip hop, breaking, then party dances, then casual dances, then hip hop dance, which is 90s era American style hip hop. And then there's the new style hip hop, what they call new style in Europe. So I mean, like,
so you would call all of that hip hop dance?
That's all hip hop, but that's like the progression to what it is now. And so like hip hop is a legitimate style. It is not something that's just whatever. There are moves with names in times and date in history. Like, you know, you put numbers with facts. Yeah. Undeniable. That's how hip hop is. Like, you can't just say I'm doing whatever and call it hip hop. There has to be a reason why, especially in dance. So like I was getting to earlier, like I jumped ahead a topic and a half. Choreo dancers will be like, this is hip hop choreography. And then I'll watch it and it'll just be like, kickball change, part of booray, look at my arms. Oh, I did a crump move, but I can't crump. So it's not really a crump move. I'm just throwing my arms in circles because I'm pretending to be angry and I'm on stage. And it's just like, okay, that's cool. And you might have been on beat, but you're not doing hip hop. You're just doing choreography. There are hip hop dancers who do hip hop choreography, like Buddha Stretch, like the Les Twins, like Lyle Beniga. There are very few people.
Shout out to Lyle.
Who can do actual hip hop and call it hip hop choreography. Yeah. What you guys, not you guys, but the majority of people are calling hip hop is the stuff that, not to be rude, we kind of just laugh at it because it's like, you're not. And then you want to call it lyrical hip hop because you're dancing to the words. It's still not hip hop. You're just doing urban movements to urban music, but you're not actually doing hip hop. Hip hop is a style. If you don't know the style, you can't say that you're doing hip hop. Like, there's one crew out there to me that stands out, not above the rest, but it's almost, and that's Academy of Villains. If you look at, the started was Farside. Farside is a popper. He's MGF. He's an amazing tutter. He understands the style of popping. He has actively sought out teachers of specific styles to train under. And then he brings those teachers in and teaches his team those specific. They have style-based training. Then, after they learn the foundational moves and they not completely, but to a certain extent, understand the dance where they can say, I'm a crumper now, or I'm a popper now, I'm a b-boy, I'm a house dancer. They get it. You know what I'm saying? They actually understand that style. Then they go on stage and they blow your mind. And that's because they know what they're actually doing. They're not just doing preset movements that somebody showed them how to do. So they understand the technique that they're actually using. That's why it looks perfect.
So say there's a group that goes out on stage and does all the different styles. House, locking, popping, breaking, crumping, name it, whacking, whatever. And that's all they do. Like, in terms of choreography, in terms of those styles too, would you call that hip hop too, or would you call it something else?
That's just street dance.
Street dance
in general. But like, there are certain dances that are in hip. Crumping is now considered an element of hip hop. I don't know when it happened, but it did. So I'm just like
when that
accepting it. And if you watch Crumpers dance, you get a hip hop feeling. You get that hip hop vibe from them. They're not on there. It's not very much different from actual hip hop dance, the way the dance actually works. Like it's that groove is still there. They dance more to the lyrics and the little nuances in the song. They don't really dance to the beat, but they're not off beat because there are beats in there that their style their entire style is almost beat catching. True. But they have found, crumping is the only style I see that has found the groove in beat catching, which is terribly difficult to, so people wanted to hate on it at first, but there's a genius in that because 90% of dancers who are just beat riders can't pick up on the little things. And then they want to say, oh, you're just a mover. So it's just like, that's the flip side of the coin, and they're still doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Did I say everything?
Yeah, that was a whole lot.
I think he was holding that back for a while.
I was about to say, my man put that in like the pocket and was like waiting for it. Wow.
I studied a lot.
Yeah.
I studied.
So like a while back, I actually had this conversation with like Mr. Wiggles, and he opened my mind to some stuff. He was like, yo, hip hop dancing evolved from hip hop music. And he was like, there's people that say like, oh, breaking is the only form of hip hop. And like, I don't really believe that. And you can hate on me if you want to.
Coming from a b-boy.
But Yeah.
He was a b-boy
like,
first.
Yeah, I was a b-boy first because all that other stuff. Yeah, no. But yeah, like breaking, just like I said with music evolves, and when music evolves, movement evolves. Like, you're not gonna be doing the same old stuff to new music. Like, that's not gonna happen. And like, so like hip hop started with like breaking and party dancing, and then like every time a party dance like evolved, like it became like a style of like hip hop. So hip hop style has constantly evolved. That's why it's really hard to like really know, like, to be like, this is hip hop, this is not hip hop, because like, you know, it depends on like what hip hop music is and what hip hop culture is, and like being developed within that culture. Like, you can, and like, I feel like hip hop is pretty diverse, and people bring in things from outside of hip hop that like turn into hip hop. Like, if you think about breaking, it was made from like, it was like a mix of like gymnastics and martial arts and like party dancing. It was all put together, and then it became breaking. But before, you weren't going to be doing like some kung fu moves and somebody was going to be like, it's hip hop. But it's like, but like,
correct.
But like get downs and stuff like that. They came from like, you know, some martial arts type stuff, like, you know, whoop, flip, drop, you know, but that turned into like the knee drop and like coin drops and all this other stuff. And it's like, but that became windmills and like all this, and like that became an aspect of breaking. So like with hip hop music has grown, and people bring out like other techniques from like other things that they know, and it becomes hip hop as a whole. So it's really hard for me to be like, this is hip hop, this is not. And I'm still trying to figure it out. And like, I'm not going to sit here and say like, this is what it is and this isn't, cause like I'm still out there like,
I mean, people like to put specific things, names on things to make it a different genre. Cause like hip hop purists will say the stuff on the radio is not hip hop.
Yeah, no, I'm like, F that.
Yeah, like
that's dumb, because hip hop, the chicken tastes like wood. Like, I'm not listening to that stuff. That's not like, that was cool with like, if that was the first
broken glass everywhere.
I am Wonder Mike, and like, you know, that's hip hop, but like,
thanks,
you know,
thanks Wonder Mike.
Right, we've also moved on from that. Like, you know, I can still listen to Future mumble through a song, and that's hot. That's fire.
Even though he does sound like Courage the Cowardly Dog sometimes.
Okay, well then Designer sounds like Courage the Cowardly Dog's younger brother.
Do you guys think like all rappers nowadays are hip hop artists?
No.
Because some of them get like real poppy, you know, like it's more like mainstream. Like a lot of rappers, there's like rappers, and then there's like MCs. Rappers, like a lot of rappers won't write their own lyrics. They have songwriters, they have ghostwriters, or even if they do write their own lyrics, it's like it's not a freestyle, and it's specific to a certain type of topic. Like you don't hear people talking about their environment outside of females, guns, and drugs and money. Really, you don't hear really people rapping about the neighborhood they grew up in, the culture they grew up in, you know, their experiences. Like rap in the 90s was almost like country music today. It was literally a story about somebody's day. Or somebody's girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
What they
ate for dinner.
Right. It didn't sound like that.
I mean, that was
in the 90s, but in the early 80s, yeah.
And
definitely.
the chicken tastes like I put my gat to it. Now it tastes like wood. Bop, bop.
Right. Close enough. But I mean, like, that music is evolving just like the dance. It's like a lot of hip hop dance. There's a elitist mindset in some dancers that I'm everywhere. Like, and it's terrible. Everywhere. Like anybody can do anything. Shut up. So just let them do whatever. And you're gonna help them or you're not. Yeah. Don't hate on them. Yeah. And like me personally, I don't like some of the new party dances, like the whip, the nay, the stupid Running Man challenge that's happening, which is hilarious. It's hilarious,
but it's not the Running Man.
But it's not the actual Running Man, which is an actual dance in hip hop.
To be your lady.
Stop. We're not having that challenge on the show.
Right. So like there's things like that. And I don't like those dances specifically because there's a very negative stigma that comes along with the people who do those dances and where those dances come from and the things that they're associated with. And in the environments you see those specific dances, but they are dances nonetheless. So there's people like Brandon Morales, shout out to Bam Dancer in Atlanta, who can do these dances, make them famous, and not be ignorant, and they can be used in hip hop. So you'll see the Les Twins whip, you'll see the Les Twins nay, and it looks like hip hop instead of somebody just going, "Hey, shawty, you know what it is." You know, it's just like
come my way.
Oh,
no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was just about to ask that.
Okay, yeah, that actually brings it back. Like, so, whoa, there's like this aspect of like hip hop that I kind of have in my head that I learned like from breaking and just from getting down like regularly like in the clubs to hip hop music. If you listen to hip hop music, there's like this like little like aggressive kind of rock. Like every dance style has like this central kind of like movement to it. Like house has the jack, right? But like hip hop has like a jack, but it's like a forward moving jack. Like it's just like forward like rock. And then like hip hop movement kind of like originates from that like that one little rock. Like if you watch b-boying, it's like we got that like rock going forward. And if you watch like a lot of old school like hip hop movement, it's like ha ha. It's like that same rock is like evident everywhere, and moves that kind of originate from there. When I see that, that's usually what I recognize as like, oh, like that they're going in. This is like a hip hop type of movement, and you can bring that flavor being added to something, whether the movement is there or not. Like you can add a move and you can turn it into like a hip hop move. Like breaking, we take moves all the time from other styles and we like add it to breakdancing flavor. So
that's true.
Yeah.
So hip hop dance is just changing.
Yeah, it's definitely evolving.
Like Charizard
to Mega
X and Y. Charizard.
Which way though? Yeah, X or Y.
I don't know. Can you put costumes on them joints? Like when you pick Ryu, but you pick him, but you got the black costume on
with the red, with the red belt,
with the red bandana,
and he's got
bras and bandana.
He needs clear cell because his eyes are red.
Lean and defend it.
So I want to bring up this Facebook post that's been getting recirculated from 2012. Roxy Visa thing. Well, Castro also posted it, and a whole bunch of other people are posting it now. It's pretty much saying what is street dance versus hip hop dance. It's pretty much everything we've been saying, except for, I think what we're touching on is when it comes to choreography, what counts as hip hop choreography. This post seems to think that, any choreography or personalized choreography that we do is not hip hop dance.
Well, see, hip hop dance has all the techniques of every style in it. So, like, you can literally do every style in hip hop, but you have to do it in a hip hop way. If you just stop dancing and you start throwing your arms in circles, you're whacking. Like,
you just move.
We get what you're doing. It is evident that you're only whacking. Hip hop is the only style I see that you can use every style. You can put your hands on the ground. You can jack a little bit, like when you're doing hip hop, and it literally encompasses every style. You can lock, you can pop. Hip hop has hitting. A lot of new style hip hop in Europe, they hit a lot. That's why people say, oh, they're just popping. No, they're not. They're doing hip hop. But it's just not the classical way that you're used to seeing. So like when you do hip hop and street dance, like in choreography, you have to be doing the hip hop style. If you just start throwing styles in there all mixed and you don't know how to do it under the rules of hip hop, like every style has its own rules. In popping, as a popper, you have to dance, you have to hit, you have to be on beat, you have to be robotic. Those are the only rules that are absolutely necessary. So you can have a hip hop vibe and be robotic and be loose and pop at the same time. And popping, and besides myself, there's people like D Soul, there's people like Frantic, there's people like Soul, Jay Zubri. And like, oh, he's dancing. Oh, he's definitely popping. He's just doing that style in popping under the rules of popping. Under the rules of popping.
So let me bring up this last topic when it comes to hip hop dance. When it comes to jams and battles, they have categories. KOD, what are you doing?
There's something on my microphone. I'm trying to get it off.
Grooming his microphone.
They have categories. Sometimes they say all styles, sometimes they say hip hop. What do you guys think about it? Let's start with Kyle, since he shoots a lot of like events or battles and jams.
When I film all style battles, they're usually just like mix of it. You can lock, you can pop, you can whack. But when you're actually in a hip hop battle, you can pop, or you can just lock, or you can just whack. So hip hop itself is an actual dance, but when it comes to all style, you can pretty much do anything that is included in the street dance style.
But have you shot jams where they have like a straight up hip hop category?
Yes, a Step a Game Up will be the prime example. They have an all style jam at all style category and
the all styles Wheel of Doom.
Oh God, yeah, I've seen that.
So how does say like Step Your Game Up? They have all styles and then they have hip hop. How do those two categories differ? Is it exactly what we're saying now, or do you see like that difference?
I mean, even the music itself is different. Like hip hop, you just play straight up hip hop music.
Yeah.
But all styles. You can play funk, you can play wacky music, you can play hopping music. It can be anything, included.
Let's step the game up. The All Styles Wheel of Death, because that is literally what it is called.
Yeah, that joint.
They built a wheel, like a Wheel of Fortune wheel, and they spin it. And Stretch has 5 DJs on stage.
Oh, ready to
each DJ is going to
something.
spin a specific type of music.
That joint's tight.
And so he has really pushed the envelope of what All Styles is. People enter All Styles competitions everywhere else, and you can just get through doing whatever style you do to that song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. But in this specific competition, you have to do the style that the wheel lands on. So if you don't know how to do that style, you can't call yourself an All Styles dancer.
Yeah.
And people get knocked out really
Left and right.
fast.
Very fast.
Yeah, yo,
very fast.
All Styles, like, it's an interesting concept to me, because in some aspect you can be like, okay, All Styles means you know how to do All Styles, but people stay BSing that they know how to do All Styles. Like, they'll throw out some moves, and I'm like, okay, so you like whacked with your arms, but you're not a whacker.
Yeah.
Like, they like hit this, and they're like, oh, I'm locking, and I'm like
that's all they do.
Yeah, and I'm like,
you're butchering, just absolutely butchering.
Right, you're over here.
Like, I can't stand that, and that's why, like, that All Styles Wheel of Death thing that they got going on at Step Your Game Up is hectic beyond belief. If you sit there and watch that, this is exactly how it works. All the judges. There's an All Styles judge now. There's an All Styles. There's somebody who's proficient in a certain amount of styles.
Okay, cool.
And so they will put that person there. So, like, last year, I believe it was Mikey Disco.
Oh, true.
And, he can pop, lock. Yeah. He can do all that stuff.
He can do all that stuff.
He's super dope. Breaking wasn't on there. Breaking wasn't on that style.
Right, so we just gonna
breaking wasn't on there because that wasn't
category. Because that was, we just talk about this.
Breaking wasn't on there. Top Rock was on there though.
Okay, that's good enough. I'll accept it.
And so Stretch will stand there. Stretch will stand there, and he will spin the wheel. And he will spin the wheel, and it'll spin it, and it'll land on something, and he'll scream out the style. Pop it.
Pop it.
Poppin' music will come on. Now, there's like 3 people or 4 people going at the exact same time. So this is like how the prelims run. And you'll play it, and they're just going. And the judge is like walking through, looking at everybody. And so they're all dancing at the same time. So he's checking out everybody's technique. And while they're just getting down, listening to the music, the wheel is spinning. So they'd have no idea what crumping music will come on. That fast, you have to switch. So it literally tests how fast you can adapt and how well versed you are in your style. I mean, it is hectic, bro. And it's like
every 45 seconds. Yeah.
Oh,
pretty much.
Yeah. No thanks.
No stopping. It doesn't stop. It's not like, okay, we're going to stop the music. It's just like it blends like a party.
Put me in that joint. I'm going to go to the next one.
So
July 23rd and 24th.
So we're running out of time. We're running out of time here. We could talk for days, I think, on a lot of this stuff. But I think we were able to get out, like, at least the basic idea of what we wanted to say. And, like, a good chunk of it, too, I think, is a lot clearer. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for being here, being on the panel.
This is fun.
Jared,
panel.
where can people find you? Do you want people to find you?
Don't find me.
I'm gonna take that as a no. Castro.
Okay.
Do you want people to find you?
Yeah, sure. You can find me on 8 Stacks HeavenZ. Yeah, that's on Instagram. And don't find me on anything else. Don't find me on Facebook. It kind of creeps me out. You can find me on Instagram.
I saw your episode. Can I ask you a question?
Oh my! All right.
Yeah, like yo, I saw you on that episode, and I watched your YouTube videos, and you're trash. So keep your opinion to yourself. I'll be like, I'm a nobody.
Wait for it. Right. Castro, where can
see me in the
find
streets. See me with the hands though.
Don't see me.
Don't see
weak.
me.
I'm weak.
But you can find me at Digital Mind, Facebook, My Dance Life TV on Twitter, Digital Mind, My Dance Life TV on YouTube. David Castro is my Facebook. Castro Reg, CASTROREG, one word.
You got a lot of things going on.
It's my Instagram. Same thing for Snapchat. I am always open to answering questions and talking to people. My phone's blowing up to like 4 a.m. every day anyway. So
cool.
Oh, okay.
People can find you in the same place, I think, right?
It's pretty much the same place. Yeah, so YouTube, Digital Mind, Digital MY.
You look at my Snap. I'd be up to like 4 a.m.
My Dance Life TV and My Dance TV on Facebook as well.
Yeah, guys, check out My Dance Life TV. It's some good stuff on there. And I'm waiting for Poppin' Chef to come out too.
We're gonna start filming that like next week, right?
Yeah,
next week. Next week we're gonna start filming the first episode. We got a crap ton of like side food footage, so that was going to be like the dopest opening.
Cool.
You're just going to salivate.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yo, wait till my episode. We gonna have like dabs on dabs.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Russ, as always, aka Lock and Robin. If you got opinions, and we know you do, put it in a comment. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, at dancefamtv, hashtag the session. Cool. Thanks for coming by, guys. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.